Hi, this is Doug Craigbaum, and here are some God thoughts. The Gospel writers record some things that Jesus did when he walked on this earth that didn't seem like very good Christian things to do. One of those was found in John chapter 2. It's when Jesus went into the temple, which was the house of God at that time, and was so upset by what he saw that he made a whip and he drove out the money changers and the dove sellers. The Gospel writers, in recalling this incident, remembered a psalm that described what was going on in Jesus. It said that zeal for the house of God consumed him. Now, it's important to remember that the temple at that time was only going to go on a few more weeks in its present form. When Jesus rose from the dead, God's presence left that temple forever. Now, Paul said that the church is the body of Christ by which he speaks and acts and fills everything with his presence. He goes on in chapter 2 of Ephesians and many other places and describes the church as the house of God today. I wonder if the same zeal Jesus had exists today among his people. George Barna recently released his findings on the state of the church in August of this year. When he released them, he contrasted them to similar reports that he did in 1991, and he found that there is clearly a decrease in zeal for the house of God. He discovered that among people who identified themselves as Christians, there was a rise in people that made a personal commitment to Jesus from 70 to 75%. But look at the zeal issues. Attendance at gatherings of the house of God declined from 56 to 47%. People's belief that God is all powerful and can move in the world today went down from 82 to 77%. Sunday school attendance declined from 26 to 18%. Serving around the house of God declined from 30 to 22%. Regular Bible reading dropped from 51 to 46%. And those that call themselves Christians saw a rise in the unchurched 10%. We now have 31% of people calling themselves Christians that are unchurched. That means they haven't been around the house of God for the last 6 months. Now you may say, well, these are maybe nominal Christians. But Barna had another category, those that were considered born again. He found similar drops. Attendance at services around the house of God went down from 66 to 59%. Sunday school attendance was down from 40 to 26%. Volunteering to serve around the house of God declined from 41 to 29%. Bible reading went down from 70 to 62%. And the amount of unchurched people among the born-again group increased from 14 to 19%. Now, this is clearly evident that the zeal for the house of God has been on the decline. Now, some people say, well, the church is a mess. Why should we invest ourselves in it? Well, the temple was a mess in Jesus' day as well. But he had something in him that understood the importance of the house of God, and he was zealous to the point where he did something about it. We need to see that same zeal in the house today. Paul said that Jesus died to have a zealous people for his own possession. Maybe if we would have the zeal of God moving in us and we walk with Jesus, we can see the church turn around. This is Doug, and this is God Thoughts.